Welcome back, everyone. 2 days ago, we did a video on Euros soloing content that he couldn't do before, Dragon 25, because we used different artifacts on him. We don't have to worry about accuracy at all. We can just focus on resistance. He did 120 Doom Tower hard by himself, killing the boss. And I was like, if we can do that with Euros, let's take that same concept, that same kind of gear, and put it over to a rare champion. And that's why we've got this Apothecary here doing 35.7 million, almost 36 million on the Frostbiter on 120 Doom Tower hard, killing the boss by himself. Now, this will bleed over onto other content that you're doing if you need an Apothecary to kill the boss. Say you get to the dragon and your whole entire team dies, well, this Apothecary can solo it. Or if you get somewhere else, maybe there's other bosses out there that if we get them down pretty low, or if the team dies right away and this Apothecary can keep himself alive like he did on 120 Doom Tower hard, then we've got it in the bag. You know I love playing these rares. Let's look at Euros from 2 days ago. So he was soloing the Frostbiter. 0 accuracy. All we needed was resistance. Stayed alive very easily and killed the Frostbiter in, I don't know, 13 minutes or so. 12 minutes and 21 seconds. There we go. Beat the Frostbiter at 120 Doom Tower hard. And then we came over here to, people were asking me, can he still, with this gear on, solo the hardest Scarab King? He can. Very easy to do. They were asking me in those comments. Okay, let's get over to Apothecary. Enough about this guy. This will work on any champion that has really good survivability, that can keep itself alive. All we have to do is put a toxic set on them. That's it. A toxic set. We get those small poisons. We've got a 75% chance to apply a poison. We've got Masteries over here just to stay alive. If we didn't need this resistance, yes, we could go over here to Giant Slayer, get even more damage, and clear content even faster. But it's not needed. Once we get those poisons up, and we'll keep applying these poisons, we're good. Now, I locked out his A3. His A3 was causing so many issues because he was taking too many turns, he was going too fast, and he wasn't doing his A1. This is on a 3-turn cooldown, this is on a 2-turn cooldown, so he was just doing his A2 and his A3 over and over again. We were getting this in here as A1 every once in a while, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to lay all those poisons, and really it's better. Against a lot of bosses that we fight out there, especially Doom Tower bosses, it's better that we don't have these buffs up, and we don't need it. We need this 2-turn heal to keep him alive, and then we need him doing his A1 as often as possible. The good thing about this is, with 3 hits, whenever you have artifacts that put out an ability like this, a poison, we don't have 3 chances to get a poison on one target. But if they hit 3 different targets, then we do have 3 chances to put up 3 different poisons on each of them. So if I hit one guy 3 times, we only have 1 check, 75% chance to apply a poison. But since it's 3 random targets, if we hit 3 different random targets, we do have a 75% chance on each of those targets to apply a poison. So this works really well and can work for us in other areas of the game, like Eternal Dragon, where he has side minions and we want to get up poisons up on him or just do more damage to those. Let's go over the gear and get into the run. We have HP here, defense, you can go HP if you want to. Speed boots, that way we can all get to the speeds I'm using right now. Defense or HP, whatever you have the best stats here. Defense again, resistance, right? Anything with resistance on it is great. Get that resistance up. We need this going through Doom Tower, and we're going to solo the boss here on 120 Doom Tower hard with an Apothecary and do 36 million damage. Resistance banner, and the rest of this, anything with speed and resistance, of course he's maxed out, he's a rare, he's Apothecary, and then these are the Masteries I have right now. Get that additional speed whenever our teammates die off. We got more resistance. Again, if you don't need this additional resistance, you can go over here to get more speed from killing mobs, which we don't really use him to kill, we just use him to kill the boss. Along the way, he might get a kill though, and we could get Giant Slayer to make it a little bit faster. But the poisons do all the work. We don't have anything to worry about. We do need a few other champions for this team. We're going to have a DPSer to help us get through those waves, and then we're going to bring Lydia in. Lydia's going to die on the boss right away, but she will come back and block the boss from reviving. We have to have her. We can't kill the boss. Like, the only way to kill the Frostbiter, any Frostbiter on any level, is with an HP burn up or to kill it with a block revive move. But since Lydia, whenever the boss dies, Lydia will pop back from her being dead and block that revive, and we win it. You'll see it in just a minute. There is one caveat with Lydia, though, that she needs to come back. She needs enough time with her turns to come back around. If she does a block revive on that wave 2 against the Torment, she's going to need more turns to come back and make sure that that passive is off cooldown. And I'll show you in just a minute. Also, we've got a resistance lead here to give us a little bit more resistance from this Renegade level 50, which she'll die off quickly. I'm on wave 2 right now, and I just want to show you this is where Lydia can make it to where you'll have an infinite run when you get to the boss. The boss will just keep reviving itself because Lydia's dead, and she can't take any more turns when she's dead to get back to her passive, to make sure her passive is off cooldown. She's going to block this Torment right here, and then we're going to zone into the boss. She blocked Revive Torment, but then she only had a few other turns, and then we zoned into the boss, and I fought this boss for a long time because I was watching some TV shows and I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on, but the boss came back three times, I think. 3 times the boss came back, and I was like, you know what? We've got to find out what's going on. Like, why did it work for me so many other times, but it's not working now? What's happening? And that's what's happening. So just make sure that if Lydia does block that Torment on wave 2, that she has enough turns to get her passive off cooldown. I've gone through it many times where she doesn't block that Torment on wave 2. She already had it on cooldown from wave 1 because we were moving so fast. Or if you're moving slower, that's a good thing. That way you kill that Torment, block the revive, work on everybody else, and then when you get to this boss, I mean, Apothecary cannot die. You have to lock out that A3, otherwise this run will be a million times longer, and it really just doesn't work out. So you got to make sure he's only doing his A1 and his A2. So 25 minutes, and I was like, what's going on here? Why isn't Lydia blocking this guy from coming back to life? So let's change our team up right here. There we go. And let's get back into this. We're going to skip through wave 1 and wave 2 kind of quickly. We've got Magnar doing DPS. We just zoned into the boss. We've actually got quite a few alive. That's fine. Just make sure Apothecary isn't trying to heal everybody else. Make sure he heals himself and doesn't keep everyone else alive, and then he'll die. He will do that. He'll be at 0 life and then try to heal someone else. Sacrifice himself for them. So just make sure, there you go, get a heal on him. They're dead, and then you can hit full auto. Just let it run in auto, and Apothecary is going to get up poisons on everyone. I like to target the right spider first because the right spider removes debuffs from the boss. So the quicker we can get this right spider down, the faster we're going to beat this whole encounter. So he'll always apply it there. But you see these 3 random targets? He just applied it to everyone because he hit all of them. There we go. We just keep getting these poisons up. Apothecary will keep healing himself and never really get low. Even when he gets frozen like this or gets the occasional slow speed on himself because resistance isn't always 100%, we still stay max. And believe me, you do not want to activate that A3 because when I had that A3 on and all he was doing was his A2 and his A3 nonstop, we were never hitting these targets. He would throw that A1, his basic attack in every minute because he's doing the A2 and A3 so often. It wasn't worth it. All he needs to do is heal himself. That's it. On a 2-turn cooldown, that's plenty. All we need is good resistance. We don't have to worry about accuracy because artifact sets do not rely on accuracy. It's just a percentage base, a flat percentage base to apply the debuff. Sleep, freeze, whatever our artifacts do, in this case poison, it's a 75% chance to apply this. They increased it. It used to be, I think, 50% chance to apply. At a 75% chance now, this is actually very strong. If you're going through the clan boss coming up in the game, you might want to consider putting some toxic sets on your people if you don't have anybody to do poisons at all. If you're nowhere near the debuff cap, put some toxic sets on there. Get that additional damage. It's going to add up to a lot. Bring in your apothecaries with toxics on. Greatest thing about Apothecary is that he doesn't need. We have nothing that relies on accuracy for him. He doesn't need any kind of special gear or special set. So we can just go in there with really high speeds or decent speeds, really high resistance if we need it, which we do on all bosses out there. We need that resistance, and then put the toxic set on, and he will save your team. If you're going through Dragon 25, Dragon 2025, whichever one, and you have an Apothecary built like this and your whole team dies off, he will keep himself alive. My only fear is that if they don't die when you immediately go into the boss, that he'll try to suicide heal somebody else and then let himself die. That's been a problem. You could do a 4-piece toxic, 2-piece immortal if you wanted some more heals. But on a 2-turn cooldown, you just don't need it with this guy. He's such a beast. And he's going to apply this the whole entire time. Let's skip forward. This is exactly how it's going to play out. The spider's going to go down. We're going to get some more damage in here. We get those poisons. I mean, look at this. The boss is just chunking down. We're doing 44, 1,000 damage every time we get a poison up. And don't forget the Master Hexer Mastery that you saw me show you earlier. That will extend the duration of these debuffs. It doesn't matter that it's coming from an artifact set. It will still extend it. We're on 17 minutes. It's taken a little while to beat the boss, but if you need to get past this is a surefire way to get past it without insane gear. Remember, we're using speed boots here, so it's really not that bad with the speed boots and with HP or defense, and all you have to do is have Lydia, and I know Lydia is a hard champion to achieve, but a lot of people out there have her by now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I love doing content like this. It's always fun to do something with a champion that normally couldn't get through this kind of content by itself, and now it can. So think about any kind of champion out there that's really survivable that we could put a toxic set on and then cheese out some content. I'm sure there's some other things that I'm missing. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.